c'est tout ce que j'ai. Mais oui, s'il y avait une preuve, mais j'aurais plutôt dit, elles n'ont pas encore trouvé des œufs.
Bonjour. Ça vous dérange pas que je vous fais? Merci. C'est magnifique ce que vous faites.
Hello everyone, my name is Osama Obeidat. I'm the director of the documentary Journey to the Center of the Heart. And right now, we are about to meet up with a couple that came from France to here, all the way by foot. Let's go. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, my brother? Alhamdulillah. How are you, my friend?
Good.
Are we? This is my brother.
Assalamu
Mr. Cameraman. All right.
Come
Are we?
in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So,
So, Bismillah, this is where we're staying now. We're hosted, mashallah, by our brother Khalid, who I give a huge shout out to, whom we met in Jordan actually, and who, when he knew that we were going to Abu Dhabi, opened up his heart and his
Very
place.
generous
and,
of him.
mashallah, very generously has been hosting us.
very.
And so this is our headquarters for now, and we've been able to work on all our pictures and videos and
Yep.
vlogs, so this is a good time.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Kadidia? This is my brother. Here.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. We're clueless about this. Yeah, there you go. So basically, this is what we're trying to put together, and this has been a good time to actually sit down and put some pictures in our blog, and this is what we want to share with the people on our travel. The places we've been to, and the people also, mostly the people that we've met on the way. Here are some. Yeah, we thought that we wanted people to travel with us, so we thought about this blog and showing pictures of people that we met, showing places, communities we visited, and sharing some of the resources of teaching that we've had in this travel. And, hopefully links and useful links for people who want to get into that kind of into alternative lifestyle and permaculture altogether, and find out how it is to actually look for community and for self-sufficiency altogether. So this is basically what we hope to achieve with this website. And of course, with people's feedback also, to see what we can achieve better, inshallah. So this is some of the stuff we carry around. Basically, our idea is, we're learning self-sufficiency in this, going to the farms and learning how to grow our own food, build our own homes. So we thought, we have to be self-sufficient in the way we travel as well.
Yeah.
So we made choices. We carry quite a lot of equipment with us, because we have enough equipment to be camping basically,
Yes.
And being able to provide for food and water, even in places where there's no source of electricity or energy
true.
altogether.
It's like
this is a choice
outdoor
we made.
and-
Ça y est, on est en train de finir.
Yeah.
This is part of it.
Wow, that's
This is that
these
would
now
be
2 boxes.
yeah.
So
And so that means we do carry, like, for instance, this is a water filter.
water filter.
Yeah. So this
Oh,
is one of the,
it's like you can drink it after, like you put.
basically, yeah, any
Oh.
kind of water we find,
Yeah.
we can filter it to this.
No way. How long does it take to filter it? Like
It's quite quick, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a liter per minute. You know,
Wow.
so that's
So-
it's very handy. And again, we've used it in nature.
Yeah.
But also, like, sometimes in places where you're not sure about the water you're drinking,
Sure.
like sometimes in train station, in dodgy
Oh,
places,
Yeah,
in
It also depends on the color of the water. You know.
yeah, of course,
It's like-
but
yeah.
that will take care of pretty much
Wow.
everything. So this is something I recommend, I guess.
Yeah.
Kadidia. This is
Kadidia.
it's a Swiss brand, as you can see.
You got it from France while
yeah.
you were there?
Yeah. We bought it in
Yeah.
France, yeah.
And it's a Swiss made. Perfect.
So yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
again, is we going like further and further. We
Yeah.
try to get lighter.
Yeah, of course.
So
because-
we're really trying to get rid of this eventually, but we're
Wow.
still, materialistic people.
you may need them, like you never know.
And yeah, but it's we think we need those things, and
Yeah.
when you look at it, you really need very little. So it's, for instance, we do have some medicine, for instance,
Wow.
and as far as medicine, like we're using mostly essential oil to treat ourselves.
For mosquitoes and
For everything,
I see.
really, so this would be, for instance, Ravinsar, which is for breathing better, and
yeah.
sérieux mon cœur, parce qu'on est en train de filmer. Sorry, what you were saying, mon cœur?
I was saying that it's not only essential oil, but we're also using plants.
For the plants?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like that would be one thing. We're trying to use natural remedies, but that would be a lot more her part than mine.
Yeah, of
She's
course.
a lot more
Yeah.
gifted in those things.
Wow.
But yeah, we're saying
so
basically.
this is the first aid kit, like
No,
this
actually,
is
this
only
is not the first aid kit. We have a first aid kit. This is the second aid
Wow.
kit.
Wow, so
But,
it's
most of them were using it for people.
yeah.
More than for us, because so far we did not need much, and whenever we needed to have things like, for instance, for muscle pain or things like this, so we have the things which are here are the things that we use less,
Ah, okay.
and
For those who are in need, it's
yeah,
very
it
handy.
was the idea was to have it, of course, for us, but.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, when you're eating organic, you don't need much then after. You're not getting sick, and you're
Yeah,
not.
your immune system is like
the immune
it's
system
we-
is pretty
stronger,
strong.
Yeah.
And that's what I was, saying, that we have very little. We need very little. We think we do need, but we need very little.
But you never know. It's
Yes, this is the thing.
But
Just-
we're trying to get away from this
Yeah.
position, basically, and
Ah.
to try to be, more God reliant.
yeah.
That's the main thing. Where like self-sufficiency is one thing, but to fully rely on Allah, and we just giving it to His full trust, basically.
And this is why it's so beautiful to, the same story as the camel. You tie
Yeah.
it, and then you leave it.
True.
Because you've been giving us like the knowledge and the capacity to get things, and also the opportunity to have them. So things that we know that we may need it, it's always good to have them with you in case, as you said, because the idea was to travel wherever. And if you are, if you found yourself in the jungle and there is no hospital, and you don't know the plants that are useful for what and whatever,
True.
at least you have what you need in your backpack. and
Always
you
be
can-
prepared, No,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what he's asking us also, to be
So,
prepared.
But you find out that you do need very little. at the end of the day.
And
That's
exactly.
And for instance,
Yeah.
what we use, for instance, as to prepare ourselves wherever we go, is we try to have, for instance, the local honey or bee pollen
Wow.
that the bees, are bringing to make honey. Usually, it contains most of, the cure to the ailments that are from that region.
Yeah.
So getting that from the bees actually, protects you preemptively from a lot of trouble.
Really.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
one way. That's something we do.
That's what you
Almost-
discovered during your journey, or
We knew it before, but it really got confirmed. But
Wow.
it was a very
Yeah.
useful thing to do, actually.
very.
Yeah. So this
Thanks
is
for
one
sharing it with
Yeah,
us.
this is
you
one
know,
advice
really.
basically
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
I would give to people. So yeah, this is my backpack, and it's a big one. I purposely intended to have, again, enough for all kinds of weather, and enough to be able to actually set up camp if I need to. So actually, I do have not a full tent. I have what we call a tarp, which is basically a piece of fabric, and I can make a tent with it using my walking sticks. Those are the walking sticks, and I basically use that. Those are as tent pegs, basically. So this is a way to carry something that's have different use all at once. And the tarp can be also used in a lot of different ways. So yeah, you will see in some pictures on that we have a different kind of tents that we can make a good shelter with, basically. And then this is part of my camping equipment. Those are bags that I used that are waterproof. So like if sometimes we feel ourselves being on a boat or anything, you may have to have some to protect some of your essential elements. So it's good to have at least one or two waterproof bags. And in those, I have basically just a few things to start a fire, for instance, to carry water. This actually is a bucket, so it's a foldable bucket, 10 liters. So the kind of things that can be very useful sometimes. Again, it's we don't use it all the time. When we are on farms, usually they have accommodation. They will have a roof over our heads, but it happens quite a few times that we have to camp out, even on the farms, where they're just starting, for instance, on their land. They don't have any kind of infrastructure. Then you're happy to have that kind of things. One thing, it's there, I might show you. This is something that's been proven very handy. So this is actually, in the same way, this idea of having things that can be used for different things. So this is, it looks like just a water bottle, but it's actually a kettle. So this, actually, you make fire, but the fire will go inside here, and it's hollow, you see, but you put water in the upper part here. It's a double tank, and so it's a very very efficient way of heating up water. Very, very, very fast. When you have wind, you have no problem. So when you camp, it's a very efficient way. And then you cook on top here. So you have a flame basically. That's easier, and you really. So this is called a Kelly kettle.
From where did you buy it?
We bought this in.
It was
It was
a gift.
a gift actually, but we knew about it. And this was invented by the fishermen in Ireland, because there's a lot of wind. They can be there on their boats or just fishing out away, and this is a very handy way to have something warm. We like to have our tea, and those are the kind of thing that's those little luxuries we have on our travel sometimes they're very good. It's nice to have some warm water to be able to drink tea and
This is the one with the clothes, and this is the one with all the logistics.
Wow.
And when we don't need few things like this.
These are our walking shoes. Yeah, this is usually what we have.
So when we don't need to have them, we have this little bag, really handy. You can fold them easily and just put whatever you don't need. Like this is for hiking and this is for city life.
City life shoes, yeah.
Shoes and
Yeah, so this little bag here carries most of our working equipment when we work on farms. We'll be using those working suits, very handy. You just need to zip and you keep your normal clothes under if you need to.
yeah.
They're very sturdy fabric, and you won't dirt yourself with it or anything.
Because actually it's really needed when you have only few clothes for world travel.
Yeah.
To make sure that we are not destroying the rest of our clothes with some kind of sweat like this. But yeah.
And then we have some of our working tools. So basically, here's a rice knife.
Which was a gift from
From
agriculture from Jeff,
in Australia.
Australia.
We have how do you call this? Can you see that?
This
Yeah,
one? The
secateurs.
rice knife?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this needs also to be cleaned. Wow. This needs some.
Cleaning.
It's good to look at this. That same kind of thing. We have the
Been staying
Two of
too
each.
long in Abu Dhabi.
two of each. And again, all these, like this way, we try not to get attached because we lose some, we give some, we receive some.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I feel that we still carry too much. And one of the things we love people giving us gifts, but a lot of people are giving us books.
Like this one. And actually, I have a bag.
It's great, but we have already plenty of
Yes,
of
but
weight.
because they feel that we love books. And I
Yeah.
have a small bag which is full of only books. And if it was possible, we would have all those bags just full of books. And this beautiful gift that I had yesterday, mashallah.
This
Handmade.
one is special.
It's Quran, huh?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
From your grandmother.
Like this
Mashallah.
one.
Yes. It's really sweet.
ما شاء الله. Oui. Et il y en a plein. Mais de toute façon, ça fait rien, non? Ah oui, parce que... Ah, waouh. Oui.
شو بيه؟ كل صحيح انه بعد اسبوعين دي باشا في تنقيب تنظيف.
في 2 week
2 week?
looked for this
Open, clean.
Ah. Oh, ok.
This is Romani.
Ah, Romain.
رومان. فإن أيوب هو نبي الله تعالى ذكر في القرآن الكريم. ويرجع نسب أيوب عليه السلام حسب ابن إسحاق إلى الروم. أيوب بن الروم. وهو أيوب من موبس بن رازخ بن روم بن العيس بن إسحاق بن إبراهيم الخليل.
Et on est déjà arrivé. C'est trop rapide. Je me demande c'est quoi comme musique. Parce qu'il écoute.
On dirait presque du coteau.
Hand filigree. This is a handmade arts. This one you have seen. You can see the difference
Yes.
about the work.
La différence.
Ah, c'est très fin.
Ouais, c'est très très fin. Ouais.
See, sir, this work of filigree. Yeah. See this work of filigree.
Okay.
It's very small.
But
This
better
is
quality.
the finest arts of
Finest
the
art.
workmanship.
Mashallah.
This is something different.
Okay.
And
The taste from heaven and smell from the devil. This is the tree of papaya.
Yeah,
This one. Actually,
regarde, il te suit là devant.
we keep in the village here,
Mhm.
whatever we have fruit,
Mhm.
we keep them until it's become yellow.
Okay,
We
yeah.
keep them to mature enough.
Yeah.
So when you collect them when they are yellow.
Mhm.
Already it's ready for eating.
Mhm.
Why? It will be very tasty.
Mm.
Yeah.
But whatever you take it with green,
We don't use it
No.
for.
it will not, even it will become yellow later on.
Yeah.
But the taste will be
Ah.
so banana, dates,
Mm.
It will taste different.
mangoes, whatever we have,
Mm.
we keep them in the tree till
Mm.
they are mature
Ripe.
enough,
Mm.
so we can eat them. They are fresh.
Mashallah.
Two times, not one time, but I mean in different 2 times.
Okay.
One in February and March
Oh, okay.
to do the pollinization. That's
Oh,
pollination.
okay. Oh,
And in this village, we have to do it manually.
okay.
The pollination.
Yeah.
Why we do that? Because all these trees are female.
Okay.
Because they have fruit. And we have only around 21 males in the village.
Okay.
So we have to take these samples from the males and we have to come to each one of these females from 7 to 10 times each season
Wow.
to do the pollination.
Avec des bees. Yeah.
Regarde the bees. T'as vu les pieds nus?
Ouais. And why do you have to do it by hand?
Because we
here?
have limit of males and it will not be enough to control
Okay.
the product.
Oh, okay.
And later on, from May and June, July,
Mhm.
the dates will come out from the tree itself,
Yes.
and we have to come with this,
Ah, yes.
the
Okay.
bags,
Okay.
and with this materials.
You collect.
Yes, so he can use this special rope, which is used now. So he can be able to stand in his feet. His hand will be free to collect the dates one by one,
Mashallah. It's a
Alright.
good technique.
and then it will be easier for him. But he has to fix the rope very well.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Antoine Bernardo. I'm from Paris, France, and I've been in Emirates for now almost 2 months, traveling from France, but taking a little detour via the world to come all the way here.
Salam, hello. My name is Kadidia and Bernardo. I'm French with African and Saudi background.
So the main reason why we've been traveling for almost 2 years now is because we're going on Hajj. We're going towards Mecca. This is our pilgrimage, and this is actually my dowry to my wife. When we get married, she asked for Hajj as a dowry, and then I guess she thought already that she has a special idea about what kind of Hajj she wanted. So it's a Hajj that's without planes and around the world, as we say. So we've been traveling from country to country using the most humble ways and means of transportation. This is the main thing. We don't want to have too big of a carbon footprint, basically. We want to, respect the environment while doing this Hajj. This has a special meaning to us. And so it's also a way for us to meet as many people, Muslims, non-Muslims, communities, individuals, everywhere we go, and share our love for Islam in the process, really. And that goes with this idea of going and traveling from farm to farm and learning how to be better Khalifa, better caretaker of this earth. So this is the one way we travel, is to use this network of organic farms that exist all around the world and where we can volunteer and therefore pay for this trip, basically. So this is how we do, basically going from mostly in the natural and countryside environment, and then when we have to, we come to cities, and that's where usually we meet also most of our Muslim brothers and sisters, and we are very much, taken care of also by this wonderful community that is the Muslim Ummah.
Actually, one of the reasons also we've been inspiring this travel is the Quran, because there is so many of those verses in the Quran who are saying, go and travel the world and eat from the purest of food that have been provided to you. And it seems that there is something really strong with the idea of traveling, because then that gives the opportunity to the person who is traveling to get to know the creation that is, and all the places that is going through, all the culture, all those different people, but also learning about himself. And all those things are just interrelated, because they are just teaching you who Allah is and helping you to get closer to Allah. So we felt that that was, inshallah, a good way, inshallah, to get closer to Him, inshallah, and also to get closer to our aim, which is to learn how to be a Khalif on earth. And so yes, this is the beautiful inspiration of the Quran.
So I became Muslim almost 15 years ago. I was living in the States, in America, in Chicago, and it's of course now a city very dear to my heart. I was working as a DJ and promoter at the time. So I met Islam through a Muslim that saw me while I was standing in front of this nightclub. It was during the day, but that's where I was working. And he heard me speak French, and he was from a French-Algerian background. He was just moving into town, and basically was just looking for people to help him out. And so I did. We actually moved in together soon after, and so that was the beginning of a long friendship and long talks also together. Because although I was born in France, where there's a lot of Muslims, I was born in a part with very little Muslims. It's a place called Neuilly-sur-Seine, which is next to Paris, and it's a little rich ghetto, basically, so with very little Muslim presence. And so meeting this brother from France, but in America, was my first real encounter with a Muslim brother. And from then, I started discovering what was the deen, what was the religion of Islam, on an everyday basis, how we practice, how the values and the principles that are attached to it are strong, and how such a beautiful example of how to live your life. So that was, first thing, really, meeting and sharing my time with this brother, and having long discussions about a lot of different things. He was very open-minded, which is something that I truly enjoyed, and he had a bigger paradigm, actually, a bigger way of looking at things than I had, because he had Islam in his life. So there was, that gives you this yaqeen, this, very strong certitude in what life is. So apart from this, I was kind of sick at the time. I was kind of feeling depressed, and I was, carrying, some physical disease, but related maybe to my past history about other things, which led me to open up to this brother and say, I don't feel too good right now. I feel this and that. And from the symptoms, he said, well, you might not know this, but Quran, our book, is also a healing tool. And through what they call ruqya, you can actually help and maybe cure some of those symptoms that you have. So here I was, we were living together in this big loft, and he brought in this brother from the mosque, who started, while I was sitting in an empty room, kind of like this, with on a chair, and with this brother on my side, starting reciting, or at least at that time I didn't know it was reciting Quran. For me, it was just some strange man speaking to me in a strange language that I didn't understand. and I started physically and strongly reacting to it. So I started shaking. I started physically being moved, in my whole body. And spiritually, I think also there was an opening. There was something in my heart that opened at that time, and I never closed since then, which is this call, basically, that this was the way. This was the way. That's it, and that's what I had to follow. That's the direction I had to go towards it. So yeah, from then on, I was on the ride, basically. And I've been on it for 15 years now.
So actually, all my family have been Muslim for so long. Like my grandmother, she is more than 100 years now, years old, and she's always been Muslim. So we have only one cousin who was a Christian. So I was born in a Muslim family. But at the age of 14, I started questioning things, or even before. Because I was wondering if that was really Islam. And at some point I started to think, okay, so if this is Islam, then I'm not interested. But I have no question about the existence of God. This for sure, I feel Him. I have too much examples of His presence with me, so I can't doubt about that. But what is the message that is what did He want out of me? What is His religion? So I started to look at all the religions, and at some point I said, okay, so Protestants, why not? Because they are just like rebelling against the control of human beings on religion. So yeah, maybe this is the thing for me. But then I started to look more carefully at the Bible, and I thought, okay, so maybe it's not really what is relevant for me. But then at some point, at the end of my research, going through Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, all the different religions, I thought, okay, so it seems that I will just believe in God without any religion, which is deist in French, sorry. But then I was like, okay, you've been looking at all those religions, but you didn't look at the religion of your parents. So maybe just at least to be fully intellectually honest, just go and have a look. And I went, and I had a look. MashaAllah. I read the Quran, and I've been able to study more about this beautiful religion, and I realized that, wow, that was what I was looking for. So now I am Muslim, and this is the path that I want for all my life. And since then, alhamdulillah. Beautiful color. And this is defensive, those colors.
Yeah, they try to look poisonous.
I try to look
but they are not.
Oops!
Là-bas, c'est Miralles.
C'est ça, Miralles, c'est...
So we actually, when we got married, Kadidia and I, we already knew we were going to go for this trip. So we asked, instead of having new sheets or cutlery or anything like this, we asked for money. We asked for money for that trip. And because it was a project altogether, a lot of family members and friends supported it from the get-go. So that was the first part of the trip. We were able to fund it this way, and then we left behind our home, and we've been able to rent our home. So that's also another way that we pay a bit for this trip. But the main thing is basically we're trying to reduce our expenses as much as possible on this trip. So we actually work, or I'd rather say we volunteer on organic farms all over the world, and that's how we pay for our food and accommodation, basically. So we spend very little. As soon as we are on a farm, we spend pretty much zero, and so the only cost is really the transportation cost. And this also we try to reduce as much as possible by sharing transportation whenever we can, taking part, working, like we did on the boat as well. Just being, as much as as a cooperation trip as possible, basically. So that's it really. This is how we pay for this travel. So. While traveling like this, we had this idea that to meet as many people and to go into these different places was a way to assess the situation of the world today. And we've all heard about climate change and about our environment rapidly changing, and animal species disappearing in a massive way. But we wanted to feel it and hear it from the people and see what they were feeling themselves. So because of the way we're traveling, mostly by public transport, we meet a lot of people from all walks of life, and they really all came up with, the vast majority of people tell us they do feel that we are at the end of a certain kind of world. The end of a cycle, at least, and the beginning of a new one. But that we're really coming at a close, and that's one of the we feel is the biggest crisis that the world is facing today is actually earth pollution and soil erosion and depletion. And this is why working on the farms and getting some of the skills, we were able to eventually become permaculture consultants. And permaculture, in a few words, is just a holistic view of how to manage land, water resources, energy resources, people resources in a very integrated way, and to design land that can be fully sustainable on the long term. And so that's how we came across the works and teachings of our brother Geoff Lawton, who's a worldwide permaculture specialist, and of also a beautiful man named John D. Liu. And they are both now involved in a project in Jordan, where we are involved as well, which is about rehabilitating large-scale damaged ecosystem. And this we feel is very much a priority for us, but we feel for a number of people if we want to keep on living on this earth in the right manner. So in the Holy Quran, God recommends in various places in the Quran that we go forth and travel the land and travel the earth, and actually it's very often attached to and eat from the food of the land, which we feel is a very powerful way to connect with the land and with the people. To spend time with the people and eat from the food of the earth is a beautiful way to travel and to meet others, and of course to reflect upon ourselves. So this travel, of course, also because we're staying connected on the land, because we don't use planes in this travel, has been a huge experience as far as getting to know ourselves, getting to know the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, and getting to know Allah, basically. So we feel very, very much blessed because this has been giving us the opportunity to contemplate more, deepen our understanding of our religion, and yeah, altogether just trying to be better Muslims. So what Islam has brought to me is the sense of connectiveness, a sense of not being separated, of being one. And you know, this is, I felt as soon as I heard the Quran for the first time, as soon as I understood there was something more to my daily life, and you know, the way I was brought up, and you know, the environment I grew up in. So yeah, that's the first thing that Islam brought to me, is the sense of deep connection, and you know, no separation. And of course, when you travel and when you're close to the land, I feel this is one of the best way to feel this connection, to you know, understand how we are connected to the whole of creation, to the earth, to the sky. Of course, you know, you have bigger access to the nature and creation around you. So this is why we feel very blessed being able to travel like this, because this brings on this connectiveness at a different level. And we've seen it again, traveling and being close to the earth, and that's really an advice I would give to any Muslim, you know, is pray on the earth, pray on the actual earth, and take your shoes off sometimes and walk on bare feet on earth. This is something our Prophet ﷺ was doing and was advising, and it has, you know, powerful effects on our body, on reconnecting our bodies, which are made of earth. This is also something Islam is telling us. You know, we are made of clay. We're coming from this earth, and we will go back to this earth. So to feel separated, you know, as a Muslim, is a problem. And we feel that living in the way we live in modern cities nowadays, much is done really to separate us from this connection. So you know, it's a travel to see the land, to see the creation, but it's a therapy. Really, we're really healing ourselves and really getting rid of all kinds of pollutions that we felt, you know, coming from a major city like Paris. We felt very deprived of. We needed that connection. This has been a huge healing process for us, and you know, of course, we recommend it to anyone, inshallah, who wants to have a go at it. So yeah, another thing this travel has been hugely beneficial in is making us understand and find out that we were not the only ones feeling that disconnectedness among Muslims and among, you know, non-Muslims as well. We met a lot of people who've shared the same concerns, the same ideas and same values and same principles, really, amongst Muslims and non-Muslims alike. And that has been a huge, you know, relief as far as we're concerned, because we feel as Muslims that it is really at the core of our understanding of religion, and to know that everywhere in most of the countries we've been to, we've met Muslims, of course, you know, the communities everywhere, but Muslims that are concerned with this and that are taking practical steps to go back to a more, I would say, traditional, connected, and in many ways sacred type of life. So this travel has sometimes taken us to some odd and unexpected places and people. One of these places is actually a cruise ship, where, you know, we mostly travel by usually cargoes, or actually some sailing boats. But the cargo we were supposed to take from Europe to the US was cancelled, and so at the last minute we were transferred to the Queen Mary II, which is the biggest cruise ship in the world today, and one of the most luxurious. So we arrived there with our backpacks, and very much in a different mindset altogether, thinking what are we going to do and how we're going to fit in this environment. And there's so many things to say about the people that we met on this particular part of the trip. We sat down the first night. We're actually wearing our own wedding gowns, because you have to wear like tuxedos, and so we had actually to bring in our wedding gowns. And we sat down and we saw the people that we were supposed to have dinner every night for the next 8 nights. And we thought, okay, we're going to go to bed early. We don't have anything in common with these people. And they're a lot older than us. They seem to be from a different social background and all. And we were, for those next 8 days, we were always the last table to leave the restaurants, and they had to kick us out every night. Because we just shared with these people actually much more than we thought, and they were also very much willing to hear about who we were as Muslims, and for a lot of them we were the first Muslim that they ever met, and so that was it. Most of the time we were spending talking to them was about Islam actually, and so these people were just wonderful couples from all over the world. Having their own stories to share as well, coming from so different social background, we found out, having their own reasons for traveling, and they helped us actually to work on our own cliches and the prejudgmental views that we may have had before starting this cruise ship part of the travel, basically.
Travel. Actually, the idea was to, inshallah, get closer as possible to Allah Azza wa Jal, and the travel was one mean for this. But we wanted to come to him and be able to tell him, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, we've done what you've been asking us to do, and we've been harming as less as possible the planet and harming ourselves as less as possible and sharing it with our children. And so we thought that we will need to work on ourselves, depollute ourselves from city life, from materialism, from all those different things who are kind of taking us, keeping us away, or keeping us away from Allah. And the idea was to work on us in order to become better people, to be more useful to this planet, work on the past trauma. You know, everyone has some past trauma, so to work on our past trauma in order to, inshallah, be ready to be good parents, even if it's not in our hands, it's in the hand of Allah, but just to have the niyyah to, inshallah, become better people in order to give good education to our kids and give them as a gift to the planet. So yes, we've been working a lot on it. You will never be like working enough on this.
It's a never ending.
We're still working on it. But the idea is to inshallah be better people when we arrive in Mecca for Hajj. Like be ready to take as much as possible and to inshallah live this moment as fully as possible. And then inshallah, once the place will be found, to be able to build it and to have our kids and inshallah to live in a way that inshallah will be useful for not only us but for others, not only for Islam but for all human beings, because we need to have alternative way of life. We need to find ways which are successful and to show people that you can do it, and just do it, inshallah. So but not the this one. What is it?
Not the Nike one.
Not the Nike one. Like you can do without Nike.
Not the just buy it, but the just do it.
Just be it. Just be yourself. Just be happy to be yourself, and just listen to yourself.
So the selfie story. Like we didn't know what selfie was at the beginning of this travel, and we started taking pictures, first of people, but we found out that they were more comfortable when we were next to them. So Khadija has this camera which shows, it has a screen that you can flip so that people can see themselves when they take the camera, and we felt there was doing better pictures. And at some point when we were doing that, someone said, "Oh yeah, this is a selfie." And I say, we don't know what's a selfie. And we say, but it's a group of people, so it's a groupie. It's a bunch of us. So that's what it's named now. That's how we call it. And we've been able to fit quite a few people in a single picture like this.
Yeah, what was the
in a fun way. I think 20 or so.
Challenge.
It became a challenge. Yeah.
More than 20.
So again, we felt that was the proper way to share our pictures with the people. Those are people that we've met, that we've shared a story, sometimes just a brief encounter, but there was something there, something strong, and this is a way to leave an imprint, and we hope a seed also for them to go. Most of them are non-Muslims, so for them to go closer to Islam, or to even if it was a brief moment, to have this sense of sharing, of brotherhood, that they can eventually take home with them, basically.
Actually, one of the main ideas was to show that we are all brothers and sisters, and that we are all the same, and to see all those different faces, because we are not so comfortable with being the idea of being behind, like now,
in front of the camera.
In front of the camera. And we felt that it was maybe the same with people, so that was the best combination, to have them being part of the travel, and also all of us being comfortable with being all together in the same picture.
And so back to the idea of selfie, I don't like the term too much, because it is something that we usually struggle against. Our ego, our self, our nafs, in Arabic, we are kind of being very cautious about what we do with our ego, and how not to be pompous in our egos, and not to have it blowing us
blowing us up basically. So
and we're still working on it all the time.
And of course, it's a never-ending process as well. But inshallah, we hope we do it with the right intention. Basically, this is quite important that we be clear on this, inshallah. So the next step again is we're gearing towards Hajj, inshallah, and we feel working on ourselves before arriving to Hajj and arriving in the best of condition, the highest level of taqwa and iman, and so that inshallah our du'as in Hajj also will be accepted. And we have du'as for a lot of people actually. We have a lot of people on the way who've been asking for du'as, so we have to make sure that we give them their due. And also we want to make du'a to guide us and protect us and help us towards the next part of this trip, which is to establish ourselves somewhere. We haven't found yet where, or we haven't decided at least, to establish a community around us, because we feel, or to join a community, but at least to have community and a strong sense of community around us, because this is not something, self-sufficiency and really like a full alternative way of life cannot be achieved on your own. You have to have people with different skills, and you cannot, just be on your own and live everything. This is not how Islam talks about living. We are connected to the rest of the society. We are a dawah community also, so we don't live amongst ourselves only. No, we establish the right foundations for our iman to be strong, our communities, our families, our children to be strong, so that we can reach out to others and that we can share those kind of knowledge with others as well. This is a way for me to invite other people to Islam, and of course to help our brothers and sisters who might be in a need for that kind of knowledge, that kind of resources. We are coming from France, and we feel the time for Muslims in France is not that easy right now. Alhamdulillah, we are trying to bring a positive change with a Muslim identity, and hopefully we hope to bring actually this positive change all the way back to France, so that people in France see the Muslims as part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
And actually not only for France but for the whole world,
and then after
we know that the situation all over the planet, and the way Islam is portrayed, the way Muslims are portrayed, so this is why it's so important to be as good Muslim as possible. And there is no need to speak or to do any kind of dawah. Just be as close as possible to Allah, and then it will be a message on itself. And this is why this Caliph on Heart, like how to reconnect ourselves from to what we are supposed to be as human beings, is already on itself the whole thing. So
we've met a lot of people in this travel who are, because they live in a different way, those people living in communities or in farms, and with this idea of building a different world, they're very often very open to Islam. They don't trust the main media so much. They know that sometimes the media can be used for basically to instill fear in people, and so they kind of turned away from all this. So they're open, at least they're willing to listen to who we are, to meet with us, to listen to what Islam is. And so we feel this is the right environment and the first people we should go and meet as Muslims, inshallah, if Allah gives us the opportunity to, inshallah.
Actually, we didn't plan to go neither to Abu Dhabi or to Dubai, because this isn't the kind of environment we are looking for. Like, we are trying to be as far as possible from cities, and trying to be as close as possible to nature. And but what's happened is that actually Antoine's mother, because we haven't seen her for almost 2 years, and we decided that it could be good to organize something and get to see each other. And her partner was so attracted by Dubai that actually they said that okay, so if we meet, we should meet in Dubai. And we're like, okay, this is not really the kind of place that we want to be, that we are expecting to visit, but yeah, why not? At least once in your life you should do that. And so for the first time of our travel, we have had to take the plane because we couldn't get a visa for Saudi, and because we told her, Antoine's mom, that we will do whatever is possible to meet her, and because it's Dubai, so we'll go to Dubai. So we took a plane and we arrived in Dubai, and we stayed 2 days, and then we've been kidnapping them to Oman, which is a beautiful, full of nature, and really totally different place. And but on the same time, what's happened is that Antoine met one brother from Jordan, who is Emirati actually, because he was born here. And he spoke to him about permaculture. So the brother took the class that we've been taking a few months ago, and so we started to discuss about how to help permaculture to increase here, and how to be permaculture friendly. And because we knew that he had a project, he wanted to do something with permaculture. So we thought, okay, so as we are already in the area, let's go to Abu Dhabi and let's meet with Khalid, the brother who is hosting us. And but we can speak together. And actually, yeah, because the encounter was between Antoine and Khalid, and so we came and we've been trying to help as much as we could. And what is beautiful about that is that, as I said, we did not expect to be so long in a city, and that was a way for us to realize even more that we really don't want to be into this kind of environment, but on the same time to realize how strong brotherhood is. Because in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, we met with beautiful people, and that was a way for us to think about, okay, so the place is just a place, it's nothing. What is really important is the people and the relationship that you have with them. And no matter which place, you will always find beautiful people and beautiful things to share with them. And we've been really enjoying the time that we've been spending here, because despite the malls, despite the tall buildings that we are not really used to and all those things, we've been able to really make like life-lasting encounters, and this is the most precious, this is the most important. And technically also we've been able to work more on a few things that we were not able to work on during the travel, because we were stuck here waiting for visas. So mashallah, alhamdulillah, Allah is the best of planner. He knows best. And yes, I think that we won't forget Abu Dhabi or Dubai.
that would be hard, really, mashallah.
Yeah.
No. And yeah, just to share this thought that although we had taken this principle of not flying for this travel, of course, when your mom calls you, you answer the call no matter what. So the rule was superseded by another rule, basically, which is, feel that Islam says the paradise lies at the feet of your mother. So you don't hesitate, basically, you just go for it.
Bisous, maman.
Bisous, maman.